This car worked like every other car. This thing sucks. They look cheaply made, in my opinion. This car makes a terrible wobbling noise when you're driving along, especially on low speeds.
New reliability data just rewrote the rules for 2026. Cars that once felt safe, familiar, and dependable are now showing serious long-term problems as mileage climbs and warranties expire. Some of the biggest surprises aren't obscure models. They're vehicles millions of people already trust. Before you buy, trade, or hold on to the wrong car, these are 10 models that could turn into expensive regrets faster than anyone expected. Number 10. Volkswagen Tiguan. On paper, the Volkswagen Tiguan looks like a smart, sensible choice. It offers clean European styling, a comfortable ride, a well-designed interior, and just enough space to work as a family SUV without feeling bulky. When new, it drives smoothly, feels solid, and often earns praise for how refined it feels compared to many competitors. That first impression is exactly why so many buyers don't see the trouble coming. As newer reliability data piles up, a pattern has become hard to ignore. The Tiguan's problems rarely show up early. Instead, they tend to appear gradually as mileage climbs, especially after warranty coverage ends. Electrical issues are one of the most common complaints. Owners report warning lights that appear randomly, sensors that fail without clear causes, and infotainment systems that freeze, reboot, or stop responding altogether. These aren't dramatic breakdowns, but they're constant annoyances that chip away at confidence and add up in repair bills. The drivetrain is another concern. While the engine itself is generally adequate, transmission behavior has been a recurring frustration. Hesitation during acceleration, rough shifting, and delayed response are commonly reported as the vehicle ages. In some cases, software updates help temporarily. In others, they don't. And once mechanical work is required, costs rise quickly compared to more straightforward rivals. What really makes the Tiguan risky heading into 2026 is ownership cost versus reliability payoff. Repairs often require specialized diagnostics, dealer visits, and higher labor charges. Even relatively minor fixes can become expensive simply because of how tightly packed and electronically complex the vehicle is. As the vehicle gets older, parts availability and pricing can become another headache, especially for owners planning to keep the car long-term. In day-to-day use, this translates into a vehicle that feels fine until it doesn't. Small issues stack up. A sensor here, a software glitch there, then a drivability problem that's hard to pin down. For many owners, the frustration isn't one catastrophic failure, but a steady stream of visits to the shop. If you're looking at a Tiguan as a long-term buy going into 2026, this is where caution matters. It may still look like a good deal, but the combination of aging electronics, rising repair complexity, and higher ownership costs makes it a vehicle that's better admired from a distance than owned past its prime. Number 9. Jeep Compass. The Jeep Compass sells itself on image. It wears the Jeep badge, promises light off-road credibility, and looks tougher than most compact SUVs in its price range. For many buyers, it feels like a gateway into the Jeep lifestyle, without the size or cost of larger models. Early ownership can be pleasant enough, which is why so many people don't question the long-term risk until it's too late. As reliability data has matured, the Compass has developed a reputation for problems that don't show up immediately but become hard to ignore over time. Transmission behavior is one of the most frequent complaints. Owners report jerky shifts, hesitation from a stop, and inconsistent power delivery that gets worse as the vehicle ages. In some cases, updates improve drivability for a while, but the issues often return, especially once mileage climbs. Electrical problems are another recurring theme. Warning lights that come and go, malfunctioning sensors, power accessories failing unexpectedly, and infotainment systems freezing or disconnecting are commonly reported. These issues are rarely catastrophic on their own, but they create constant frustration. Diagnosing them can be difficult, which means repeated shop visits without clear resolutions. Build quality also plays a role in why the Compass becomes a risky ownership proposition over time. Interior components tend to wear faster than expected, with reports of rattles, trim issues, and controls feeling loose or fragile. Suspension components and steering parts have also drawn complaints as mileage increases, leading to repairs that feel premature for a vehicle of this age. Heading into 2026, the biggest concern is how these problems combine. A Compass out of warranty can quickly become a cycle of small but expensive fixes. Labor costs add up, parts aren't always cheap, and reliability confidence steadily drops. What once felt like a practical, affordable SUV begins to feel unpredictable and tiring to live with. In everyday use, this uncertainty matters. Owners often describe never quite trusting the vehicle on longer trips, listening for new noises, or wondering which warning light might appear next. That mental load is something many buyers don't factor in at purchase time. If you're considering a used Compass or planning to hold one long-term, this is where the warning signs matter most. The Jeep name suggests durability, but the reality for many Compass owners is a vehicle that demands patience, money, and tolerance for ongoing issues, qualities that make it a poor bet going into 2026. Number 8. Chevrolet Malibu. The Chevrolet Malibu has long been positioned as a sensible, no-drama mid-size sedan. It's comfortable, easy to drive, and often priced attractively, especially on the used market. For buyers who want something simple and familiar, the Malibu can seem like a safe, low-risk choice. Unfortunately, newer reliability data tells a more complicated story once these cars rack up miles. One of the biggest concerns emerging with the Malibu is powertrain consistency. While the engines are generally adequate when new, long-term ownership reveals issues that tend to surface after several years on the road. Transmission complaints are especially common. Owners report rough shifting, hesitation, delayed engagement, and in some cases complete transmission failures at mileage levels that feel unacceptably low. These problems don't always announce themselves early, which makes them particularly frustrating and expensive when they finally appear. Electronics are another weak point. Infotainment systems freezing, screens going black, connectivity issues, and malfunctioning driver assistance features have all become recurring complaints. As software updates age and systems fall out of sync, small glitches turn into persistent problems that aren't always easy or cheap to fix. What starts as a minor annoyance can eventually affect core functions of the vehicle. Interior durability also plays a role in why the Malibu struggles long-term. Many owners report premature wear on seats, trim pieces loosening, and rattles developing well before expected. While these issues don't stop the car from running, they contribute to the sense that the vehicle isn't aging gracefully. Over time, the Malibu can feel tired and worn in ways that competitors often avoid. Looking toward 2026, the Malibu's biggest risk is value versus repair cost. As resale values drop, repair bills don't follow. Transmission work, electronic diagnostics, and component replacements can quickly exceed what the car is worth, putting owners in a tough financial position. At that point, even moderate repairs can feel unjustifiable. In daily use, this creates an uncomfortable ownership experience. Many owners describe driving cautiously, avoiding long trips, or delay in repairs simply because the cost doesn't make sense anymore. That's not what anyone wants from a practical sedan. If you're considering a Malibu with plans to keep it for several more years, this is where caution becomes critical. What appears to be a budget-friendly option today can quietly turn into a reliability gamble by 2026, one that leaves owners spending more time managing problems than enjoying the drive. Number 7. Nissan Altima. The Nissan Altima has been a staple of American roads for decades. It's comfortable, fuel-efficient, and often priced very competitively, especially on the used market. For many buyers, it feels like a dependable, everyday sedan that should be easy to live with for years. That expectation is exactly what makes the Altima's long-term reliability story so disappointing. The biggest and most persistent issue continues to be the continuously variable transmission. While Nissan has made revisions over the years, real-world data shows that transmission complaints don't disappear as these cars age. Hesitation, shuddering, delayed acceleration, and sudden loss of smoothness are common as mileage increases. In some cases, owners experience complete transmission failure, often at mileages that feel far too low for a modern sedan. What makes this especially risky heading into 2026 is how these problems tend to appear. Many Altimas drive perfectly fine early on. There are no warning signs, no obvious red flags during test drives. Then, as the vehicle gets older and warranty coverage expires, issues surface quickly and expensively. Transmission repairs or replacements can cost several $1,000s, often more than the car's remaining value. Beyond the transmission, electrical and sensor issues are becoming more common. Owners report warning lights appearing without clear explanations, driver assist features malfunctioning, and infotainment systems acting unpredictably. Individually, these issues might seem manageable. Together, they create a vehicle that feels increasingly unreliable and stressful to own. Interior quality also contributes to the Altima's decline over time. Premature wear on seats, peeling materials, and loose trim pieces show up more often than expected. These may not strand you on the roadside, but they reinforce the sense that the car isn't aging well. In everyday use, Altima owners often describe a constant sense of uncertainty. Is the transmission going to hesitate again? Is that noise something serious? Should this warning light be ignored or investigated? That mental load wears people down, especially on longer commutes or trips. As 2026 approaches, the Altima becomes a risky bet for anyone planning long-term ownership. Low purchase prices can be tempting, but they often hide the potential for sudden, high repair bills. For buyers who value predictability and peace of mind, this is one sedan that's increasingly difficult to recommend. Number 6. Ford Escape, non-hybrid models. The Ford Escape has long been marketed as a practical, no-nonsense compact SUV. It's easy to drive, comfortable on long trips, and offers good fuel economy for its size. For many buyers, especially those moving up from a sedan, the Escape feels like a logical, safe choice. But as newer reliability data comes in, the non-hybrid versions are showing patterns that make long-term ownership increasingly risky. One of the biggest concerns centers on the turbocharged engines used in many Escape models. While they deliver decent power and efficiency when new, real-world data shows that stress builds over time. Cooling system issues, oil consumption problems, and premature component wear begin to surface as mileage increases. These aren't problems most owners notice early on, which is why they often come as an expensive surprise later. Transmission complaints are another recurring issue. Owners report rough shifting, delayed engagement, and inconsistent behavior at low speeds. In some cases, the transmission feels confused about what gear it wants to be in, especially during stop-and-go driving. Software updates can help temporarily, but they don't always provide a permanent fix. Once mechanical work is required, repair costs rise quickly. Electrical issues also play a growing role in the Escape's long-term reliability concerns. Infotainment glitches, sensor failures, warning lights, and driver assistance features acting unpredictably are commonly reported as vehicles age. Diagnosing these problems can be time-consuming, often requiring multiple visits to the dealer before a clear answer emerges. What makes the Escape particularly risky going into 2026 is the way these problems stack. One issue rarely appears alone. An owner might deal with cooling problems, followed by transmission hesitation, then an electronic fault. Each repair may seem manageable by itself, but together they create mounting costs and frustration. In daily life, this uncertainty matters. Many owners describe losing confidence in the vehicle, especially on longer drives. Small noises, minor warning lights, or changes in performance become a constant source of concern. If you're considering a non-hybrid Ford Escape, with plans to keep it well beyond the warranty period, this is where caution is essential. What starts as a comfortable, affordable SUV can quietly turn into a vehicle that demands far more attention and money than most owners ever expected. Number 5. Hyundai Kona gas models. When the Hyundai Kona first arrived, it felt like a breath of fresh air. Compact, stylish, and packed with features, it quickly gained a reputation for offering a lot of value in a small package. Early reviews were positive, and many buyers saw it as a smart alternative to more expensive crossovers. But as more long-term reliability data becomes available, the gas-powered Kona is showing weaknesses that make it a risky choice heading into 2026. Engine reliability has become the biggest concern. While not every Kona experiences serious problems, enough owners have reported issues to establish a clear pattern. Complaints range from excessive oil consumption to rough running, warning lights, and, in more severe cases, engine failures at relatively modest mileage. These issues often don't appear during the early years of ownership, which means they tend to surface right when warranty coverage ends. Electrical and electronic problems add another layer of frustration. Infotainment systems freezing, backup cameras failing intermittently, sensors triggering false alerts, and driver assistance features malfunctioning are all commonly reported. These issues can be difficult to diagnose and even harder to permanently fix, leading to repeated visits to the service department. Build quality also plays a role in the Kona's long-term decline. Interior materials tend to wear faster than expected, with reports of peeling trim, rattles, and controls that feel loose over time. Suspension components have also drawn complaints as mileage increases, resulting in repairs that feel premature for a relatively modern vehicle. What makes the Kona particularly concerning going into 2026 is the balance between repair costs and vehicle value. As resale values drop, even moderate repairs can feel financially painful. An engine-related issue or recurring electrical fault can quickly turn what was once a budget-friendly crossover into an expensive headache. In everyday driving, this translates into growing uncertainty. Owners often describe listening closely for new sounds. In everyday driving, this translates into growing uncertainty. Owners often describe listening closely for new sounds, watching warning lights nervously, and wondering whether the next repair will be a minor inconvenience or a major expense. For buyers considering a gas-powered Hyundai Kona as a long-term vehicle, this is where caution becomes critical. While it still looks appealing and drives well when everything works, the growing reliability concerns make it a gamble that many owners wish they had avoided. Number 4. Jeep Grand Cherokee. The Jeep Grand Cherokee has long been seen as a step up from the average SUV. It offers a comfortable ride, a quiet cabin, and a sense of luxury that appeals to buyers who want refinement without giving up the Jeep image. When new, it feels solid, capable, and well-equipped. But as long-term reliability data accumulates, the Grand Cherokee is becoming known for problems that are expensive, complex, and difficult to ignore. One of the most serious concerns is the vehicle's heavy reliance on advanced electronics. Owners frequently report issues with infotainment systems, digital dashboards, driver assistance features, and electronic controls behaving unpredictably as the vehicle ages. Warning messages appear without clear explanations, features stop working temporarily, and software updates don't always provide lasting solutions. Diagnosing these problems often requires dealer-level tools and expertise, which drives up repair costs. Suspension problems are another major factor, particularly on models equipped with air suspension. While this system provides excellent ride comfort when it works, failures become increasingly common as mileage increases. Leaks, compressor failures, and sensor problems can turn into extremely expensive repairs. Once these systems begin to fail, ownership costs rise sharply. Powertrain reliability has also raised concerns. While some engines perform well, others have shown issues related to cooling, oil consumption, and component wear over time. Transmission complaints, including rough shifting and hesitation, have also been reported as vehicles age. These problems don't always happen early, which makes them especially frustrating for owners who expected long-term durability. Heading into 2026, the Grand Cherokee's biggest risk is how quickly repair costs can escalate. Even routine fixes can become expensive due to the vehicle's complexity. When multiple systems begin to age at once, owners often find themselves facing repair bills that feel disproportionate to the vehicle's value. In daily use, this leads to a gradual erosion of confidence. Owners may start avoiding long trips, delaying repairs, or worrying about what might fail next. The sense of comfort that initially attracted buyers slowly fades. For anyone considering a Grand Cherokee as a long-term vehicle, especially outside warranty coverage, this is where caution is essential. The combination of advanced technology, complex suspension systems, and rising repair costs makes it one of the riskiest SUVs to own going into 2026. Number 3. Chevrolet Silverado, recent generations. The Chevrolet Silverado has always carried a reputation for toughness. It's a truck people buy expecting it to work hard, last forever, and shrug off high mileage. For decades, that image was largely earned. But newer reliability data is painting a very different picture for recent generations, especially once these trucks move past the honeymoon phase of ownership. One of the most persistent problems involves the engine management systems, particularly features designed to improve fuel economy. Cylinder deactivation has become a major source of complaints as mileage increases. Owners report lifter failures, misfires, rough running, and sudden loss of power. In many cases, these issues appear without much warning and can lead to extremely expensive engine repairs. What makes this especially frustrating is that the truck may drive perfectly fine for years before problems suddenly surface. Transmission issues are another growing concern. Harsh shifts, slipping, delayed engagement, and unpredictable behavior under load have been widely reported. Some owners experience these problems at relatively low mileage, while others see them emerge just after warranty coverage expires. Repairs are rarely cheap, and in some cases, complete transmission replacements are required. Electrical problems have also become more common. Infotainment systems freezing, cameras malfunctioning, sensors triggering false alerts, and driver assistance features failing intermittently are frequently mentioned by long-term owners. Diagnosing these issues can be time-consuming and costly, especially when multiple systems are involved. What makes the Silverado particularly risky going into 2026 is how these problems clash with expectations. Buyers choose this truck believing it will be dependable for heavy use and long-term ownership. Instead, many owners find themselves dealing with repairs that feel more appropriate for a luxury vehicle than a work truck. In everyday use, this creates frustration and uncertainty. A truck that's supposed to be reliable becomes something you constantly monitor for warning signs. Towing, hauling, or long trips can feel stressful rather than reassuring. For buyers considering a recent generation Silverado with plans to keep it for the long haul, this is where caution is critical. The name still carries weight, but the reliability trends suggest that ownership beyond the warranty period can become far more expensive and unpredictable than most people expect. Number 2. Ford Explorer. For years, the Ford Explorer has been one of the most trusted names in American family vehicles. It's spacious, comfortable, and powerful enough to handle everything from road trips to daily commuting. Many buyers choose it believing they're getting a proven, long-lasting SUV. That reputation is exactly why the Explorer's recent reliability trends are so concerning. One of the most commonly reported issues involves the transmission. Owners of newer Explorers frequently describe rough shifting, hesitation, and unpredictable behavior at low speeds. Some report sudden jolts when accelerating or delayed responses when merging into traffic. These problems often start subtly and grow worse over time, making them difficult to catch early. In many cases, software updates only provide temporary relief, and mechanical repairs become unavoidable as mileage increases. Electronic reliability is another major weak point. Explorers are packed with technology, and as these systems age, failures become more common. Infotainment systems freezing or rebooting, digital displays malfunctioning, and driver assistance features behaving erratically are recurring complaints. Electrical problems can be especially frustrating because they're often intermittent, making diagnosis slow and expensive. Powertrain concerns extend beyond the transmission. Some owners report issues related to cooling systems, turbochargers, and sensors failing prematurely. While not every Explorer experiences serious mechanical trouble, the number of consistent reports has raised red flags in long-term reliability data. What makes the Explorer particularly risky heading into 2026 is the cost of ownership once warranty coverage ends. Repairs tend to be complex and labor-intensive, and parts costs can add up quickly. As resale values decline, owners are often faced with repair bills that feel disproportionate to the vehicle's worth. In daily use, this creates a sense of uncertainty that many buyers didn't anticipate. A vehicle meant to provide confidence and comfort can become a source of stress, especially on longer trips or during busy family schedules. For anyone considering a Ford Explorer as a long-term vehicle, the warning signs are hard to ignore. Its familiar name and strong presence on the road no longer guarantee peace of mind, making it one of the most disappointing reliability stories going into 2026. Number 1. Tesla Model 3. This is the most shocking entry on the list. Not because the Tesla Model 3 is unpopular, but because so many owners genuinely believed it would be the future-proof choice. Sleek design, instant acceleration, low running costs, and cutting-edge technology made the Model 3 feel like a smart, long-term investment. Early ownership often reinforces that belief. The problem is what happens after the novelty wears off and the car ages. Newer reliability data shows that long-term ownership of the Model 3 can be far more complicated than many buyers expected. One of the most common complaints involves build quality. Panel gaps, trim issues, rattles, and interior components wearing prematurely are frequently reported as mileage increases. These aren't issues that strand you immediately, but they chip away at the sense of quality over time. Electronic reliability is a much bigger concern. The Model 3 relies heavily on software, screens, and integrated systems. Owners report touchscreen failures, system reboots, camera malfunctions, and features behaving unpredictably after updates. When the screen goes down, it affects everything, from climate controls to navigation, turning a single failure into a major usability problem. Battery-related anxiety also becomes more real as the vehicle ages. While many batteries perform well, degradation concerns, reduced range, and the high cost of out-of-warranty battery repairs loom large. Even when major failures don't occur, the uncertainty itself becomes stressful for owners planning to keep the car long-term. What truly pushes the Model 3 to the top of this list is repair cost and accessibility. Tesla's service network is limited compared to traditional automakers. Repairs often require specialized service centers, longer wait times, and higher costs than expected. Minor issues that would be simple fixes on conventional cars can become time-consuming and expensive. In daily life, this creates a very different ownership experience than buyers imagined. The car may still be fast and fun, but confidence slowly fades. Owners begin worrying about updates, warning messages, and what might fail next. Going into 2026, the Tesla Model 3 represents the biggest gap between reputation and long-term reality. It can be an exciting car to own early on, but as a long-term vehicle outside warranty coverage, it carries risks that many buyers never saw coming, making it the most important car on this list to think twice about. What this list really shows is how quickly the reliability picture can change once a vehicle ages past its early years. Many of these cars look great on paper, drive well when new, and carry names people have trusted for decades. But long-term ownership is where the truth comes out. Through rising repair costs, growing complexity, and problems that don't show up until it's too late. Avoiding a bad buy is often more important than chasing the perfect one. A car that saves you money, time, and stress over the long run is always the smarter choice. If you want to see which vehicles actually hold up as the miles pile on, that's what we'll cover next.